go. I can show them how to do it when I'm in the zone. Before we start, let me puff that indigo. If I thrust, guaranteed you gon' feel it though. My intro for this real shit. When I walked the bridge and we built it. Two hoes got the boy on kill clip. My team good.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and we are live directly after NXT. A pretty damn good episode of NXT. I mean, definitely not bad whatsoever. We had some interesting matches throughout the night, and then a really strong main event. I thought very strong, solid match to kind of close out the show. We had some announcements, we had some decent promos, we had a lot of good stuff going on. So we're going to get into all of that and a whole lot more, and hopefully be able to take your calls with any luck. We shall see. I'm having a little bit of internet problems, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn on my Skype or not, but we'll find out here in a matter of minuten. That is minutes. Yes, we're going to be doing that. Hopefully take your calls live. Let you guys sound off on what you thought of this week's episode of NXT. But for now, let's go with what I thought, how I felt about NXT, shall we? Let's start there with your copious amounts of notes. And this is going to be relatively quick. I mean, we got like 5 matches, so let's get right into it. Vaudevillains kick off the show against the Hype Brothers. The Hype Bros. I always call them brothers. The Hype Bros, because I hate bros. The Hype Bros. The Hype Bros seem to have lost any momentum that they once had. And I wonder if it's because they got booed in London. I'm just wondering if that's the reason. They got booed and then nothing. Nothing since then. They haven't gotten anything going. The talk of them going to the main roster has kind of died down. Very weird stuff. I don't know what the deal with that is. But it's just weird. They got some offense in, but this was about the Vaudevillains, who are going back to their villain roots, which is exactly what they need to do. Unfortunately, I think it might be too little too late for the Vaudevillains, because the crowd, at the very least, now, to be fair, this crowd wasn't very good, but the crowd was not very happy with just about anything tonight. But they did not respond to the Vaudevillains very much. I mean, you had a couple of the mainstays who were chanting along with what the Vaudevillains doing, the manly and all that. But I think this gimmick has kind of run its course, and I think it's pretty much dead. It's time to either repackage these guys, split them up, do whatever, but I do think it's time to end this, or let them go super heel. I mean, like, villainy. Like, go fucking crazy with it, because this gimmick is bleh to me. But I have a feeling this is one of those gimmicks that Triple H keeps around because it makes Vince laugh. I can just see that. I can see Vince just laughing his fucking ass off in the back at this gimmick. You see that? You see that, Paul? You see how they're all sports entertained, Paul? Do you see it? They're all sports entertained right now. Do you see that? And Triple H is like, yeah, Vince. Yeah. That's basically what he has to deal with. But look, Aiden English and Simon Gotch are both really talented. So no matter what happens, I think English probably has a little bit bigger of a career because of the fact he is bigger than Simon Gotch, and Gotch is kind of the weird, squirrely one. But there might be something there for this tag team. I'm just not 100% sure. After that, we got Carmella and Emma. And you know what? Carmella, I like a lot. I like her more as part of Cass and Enzo than I do on her own. She's completely fine in the ring, but she's nothing spectacular. And I got to be honest, her promo that she cuts all the time, that I am Carmella and I am the princess of Staten Island, it's fucking annoying. She's got a really annoying voice. I like her. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's fantastic in that group of Cass, Enzo, and her. I think that's a great unit. But I don't see the long-term possibilities of her as like a Divas champion in NXT, let alone WWE. But I could be wrong there, but it's just how I feel. Emma comes out with her cop glasses and her OJ gloves, isotoners, bitch, that don't even fit. It's kind of wonderful. It was a lackluster match. I thought the ending was super blah. You're building Carmella to a title shot next week. Having her get a backslide victory, I don't get it. just a really weak win over Emma, who, Bayley is beating up. Everyone's beating up Emma, but Carmella just squeaks out with a backside. I mean, there's no building of her as a serious threat, at least in my opinion, coming off of this match. I could be completely wrong, but I just don't think there's a shot at her dethroning Bayley. I don't think that she's a legitimate threat at this point. So, I don't know. It's very, very interesting. After that, we got her boys, and she wasn't out there with them, and I felt that kind of took a little bit away. But Enzo and Cass come out to the ring, and they do their thing. They do what they always do. They're very aggressive on the microphone, like they've been lately, which I really do enjoy. I miss Cass's stutter, and I'm gonna spell it out. I miss that. I don't like the spell it. That's just a stupid nitpick, but still a nitpick nonetheless. Enzo is emerging as one of the better talkers in all of wrestling, even though he is a tad repetitive and he sometimes is hard to hear because he's not the most articulate guy. He doesn't hit all of the words very well. His diction isn't fantastic, but he is a great speaker and he does know how to just elicit response and emotion from crowds, and also just really get his point across, and I do like him. As for the match, it was just against two enhancement talents that I don't think they ever gained the names of. It was just a quick, relatively quick beatdown where we got to see all the good moves of Cass and Enzo, and they get the win. They look really good. Enzo also looks like he has gotten himself in much better shape than he was in before, and I think that's really important for them in long term. I do think, though, that their fate is tied to Carmella, and likewise. Carmella and Enzo and Cass need to be a unit. They need to be together. And I think they work best when they are just one cohesive unit. And that's how I think they should go to WWE. So as nice as it is that Carmella is getting a title shot, I don't think anything is going to come from it. I do believe that Cass and Enzo will get their tag team titles run at some point. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. After that, we got Asuka versus Santana Garrett. This was probably the most interesting match of the night for me, as much as I liked the main event. But seeing Asuka in there with someone that I thought she was going to absolutely destroy, this Santana Garrett, she was beautiful. She was athletic. She had a great body. And she actually had some moves, man. She was really impressive in this defeat. I was really impressed with her. I think there's something here. She might be that void filler. That woman can wrestle a little bit. I don't know if she could talk or anything, but she was screaming right back at Asuka like that. She had really good ring awareness, ring psychology, all of those buzzwords that people like to hear when they're listening to a wrestling show. All of those good things she had. And Asuka, is Asuka. She was great as always. I don't know if I'm down with the slapping her butt thing. I just don't like, for as serious as a wrestler as she is, that's a real big nitpick because you could be a little bit of everything. But I don't know. I just kind of want to see her beat the hell out of people. But slapping her butt is nice because I would like to do that because I'm in love with Asuka. I think she's great. So she got a really nice win with the Asuka lock. I kind of like that Asuka matches are not the same all the time. There's no standard formula for Asuka matches, She went from submission right to the Asuka lock submission hold. Now is pretty cool. So I was pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that. Before we get to the main event, how about a quick shout out to the chat? Adrian, Alex Poe, Enrique Vieira, Terry the Snow Queen, moderating, doing her thing. Matt Ernie, Old School Matt, Derek Bradford, hanging out here. Jericho Zambros, AJ Tucker, Carl Gibney, SF Boy, Josh Hampton. We got all kind, Pittsburgh Boy 96, Etamon 777. We got all kinds of good people up in the chat. What's going on, folks? Hope you guys are having a good time hanging out with your boy, Dead on Dave. So, main event time, man. After all of that, we got the main event. And with no super major big match on the night, this kind of had to deliver. And I got to be honest, the first 5 minutes was kind of, it was a build. It was a build type match. It was a slow build. And they almost slow built it a little bit too long. It felt like the holds were just a little bit too long. They sat in them a little bit. For a dead crowd, that the crowd has been like that all night, just not very active, I don't think that was the smartest match to put out there because those two are so capable of tearing down the house. And considering we've seen them before, I was a little bit surprised that that's the route they decided to go, especially only giving about 15 minutes to the match. So I wasn't thrilled with that idea, but at the same time, the match picked up at about 7 or 8 minutes in, and then it just started hitting, boom, boom, boom. And we saw a little bit different out of Finn Balor, especially the ending. We saw some really good stuff out of Finn, and he was very impressive. Hitting Sunday Bloody Sunday is just awesome, awesome. I love that DDT. It's not as impactful as AJ used to use it when he was on the indies because they don't land on the head as a full brain buster anymore, but they bring it down a little bit more into almost a suplex. But still, it looked really good. Finn did a great job with it. And I thought the match stood out. I think the thing they wanted to do was make Apollo Crews look really strong. And I believe that they did that. Apollo looked real good in this match, even in defeat. He was fast. He was powerful. He hit his moonsault finisher that did not get the victory. There was a lot of good from it. I thought the match was very solid. And it came to a very high crescendo. It was the match of the night. I think that we're back up. I believe we're back up. I think that the stream is back. I stuck with it, and it looks like we may have gotten this thing back on the tracks. I apologize to anybody who's been waiting. I do apologize for that. Nothing I can do. The internet dumps out and dumps out. But it looks like we're back, and it looks like we're back live. So, hey, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for sticking with it. And if for anything else, at least we'll be closing it out. I'm going to try to open up Skype, and we'll see if it works. And I'll take a couple calls, and then we'll get up out of here. I apologize for any inconvenience, but sometimes this is just how it goes here in Germany. And sometimes the internet in these small little crap towns, they go out. It's been a while since I've had an internet issue of this magnitude. So thank you guys for being cool. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for not getting too upset about the situation. So you've heard my copious amounts of notes, though. We got through everything. My rating for tonight is somewhere around a 7. I do feel it could have been, no, not even a 7. I feel that's too high. I feel it's too high. I don't feel like we had an epic moment or man. I'm hard. I'm struggling on this one. So you know what? Before I give a rating, let's try to take some phone calls, man. I'm going to open it up here. Hopefully everything does not come crashing down to a halt yet again. I'm going to attempt to open up Skype. We're going to attempt to take some calls. Hopefully it will work. All right, Skype is up. There we go. That's step 1. That's a good thing. And calls are coming in. That's step 2. So let's start. Tony Hall, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
What's up? Not much, man. That's a good show. And the chick, Asuka, took her out. It was a good match. I was intrigued on that. And
yeah, I thought that Santana chick did a really good job.
She was. And what do you think the tag team, the tag teams? What do you think of them?
What tag team?
The Hobby Bros and the Vaudevillains. They was going to add each other. The first match I seen was a good match.
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't very long. It was just basically a squash. I mean, the Vaudevillains got in 90% of the offense. The Hype Bros, who had all the momentum in the world about a month and a half ago, they've gone to now jobbing to a team that looks like they're going to be done soon. So I don't know. I didn't like that match very much.
The end of the match, I like the end when Ben Balor versus Apollo Crews. That was a good match. That was a decent match.
I'm not saying it wasn't a good match. It was a good match. It's just I felt that they burned it a little bit too long at the beginning. A lot of the wear down holds. Look, I think the crowd killed a lot of the excitement for it. I don't feel there was anything epic from tonight. I think the ending between Crews and Balor was good, but other than that, I think it was a lot of real lower level stuff. I mean, you expect a little bit more out of NXT, and I think a lot of times we give it a pass because it is NXT, but I think on this week I'm going to be a little bit harder on them.
I agree with you.
What do you mean you agree with me? You're just trying to tell me how great the show was. Get out of here,
sorry.
Tony. You're so over the top rope. Every week this kid calls in. I love Tony Hall. Every week this guy calls in, and then he tells me something. I'll fucking disagree with him, and then he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does it every week. It's unbelievable. He does this. And, I'm so glad the internet came back on just for that, man. Jeez. Antonius Pierce says, what up, Dave? Say sup really loud. Sup? There. We will continue to take your calls until there's no more calls. 702-751-2902. Or use the Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. All the information's right there. It's right below. Look at it. You can use that information to get a hold of me. Call in, get your voice heard. All that good stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out right here with me. And you know what? Those of you who came back knew that I was going to get the stream going, working. Thank you guys for coming back. Carl Gibney, Antonius Pierce, Pittsburgh Boy, Gun Cannon, Old School Matt, Terry, all you guys, thank you very much. Derek Bradford for coming back and just being awesome. I really do appreciate that. If that's the end of the calls, we're going to wrap this bitch up. I ain't got much more to say. There's not a lot to talk about from tonight's NXT. We got the decision of that Baron Corbin's out and Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn will have another match. Although that has not been told what the match will be, I'm here to tell you guys a little bit of a spoiler. No quotes needed. It's a spoiler. That it's going to be a mother fuzzing 2 out of 3 falls match. That's right. It's supposed to be awesome. So that should be a lot of fun. We do got another call, so we're not getting out of here quite yet. But I agree with you, Black Lagoon. Crowd was weak as fuck. No question about that. Let's take another call. 410, you're live with That on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave, this is Matt. I'm calling on the different phone once again.
What's crack-a-lackin', Matt?
I thought this week's NXT was much better than last week's. I wasn't really a huge fan of last week's. I thought the main event was better than the three-way last week.
I don't know about that.
I thought it was. I wasn't a fan of that.
Well, it's all opinions, I know. But, I mean, if you're going to call on my show and give me your opinion, I'm going to definitely tell you that I think you're wrong.
Yeah, Cruz and Balor was... I wouldn't say it was as good as their last match, but it was definitely really good.
Match. That's
yeah, it came close.
What's that?
I said it came close to their last match.
I feel that they worked the wrong type of match for that crowd tonight. The crowd was dead, and they go out and they sit in holds for the first 7 minutes of the match. It's only a 12-minute match, and you're going to sit in holds for fucking 12 of them? I didn't understand that. I was not very happy with that decision of it. I felt their first match was way better. I think Apollo looked better in this match than he did in the first match. But I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed with it. Partially at the length, partially at how long it took to really get going. I don't know, man. I think we give a pass to NXT so much because it's NXT. I think it's about time that we kind of punch NXT in the mouth. And I think this is the type of show. This is the show. I mean, what happened tonight? Not a whole hell of a lot. There were some decent moments, but I mean, you can't really point to one match that was up to the quality of NXT that we see each and every week that we're always raving about. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, these past few weeks haven't been that great at all.
Last week I didn't mind too much. I thought last week was a good meat and potatoes. Even when we're not getting a great overall show, we're getting 5 or 6 matches that are all hitting on all their cylinders. Tonight, I don't feel that we got that. I think we got 4 matches in the undercard that were all very cut and dry. You knew it was going to happen. There was really no surprises. It was one team that was going to go over the other pretty decisively, and we got that. And the one match where it should have been that way, it wasn't, and that was Carmella and Emma, where she gets a weak-ass backslide. I mean, I didn't get that. You're trying to build her as a legitimate contender to Bayley, and she just barely weaks her ass past Emma. I I didn't understand that. I wasn't behind that decision.
Maybe they were trying to protect Emma. Who knows?
Oh, there's no protecting Emma. As long as she is with Dana Brooke, I don't know. I'm starting to cool on Carmella as well as a singles competitor. I like her much better with the boys. I think that she rounds out that team wonderfully. I don't know. Tonight just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I mean, everybody knows she's not winning. So, I mean, I don't think it really matters.
Oh, no, she's not winning. It ain't happening. I agree with that. What else you got for me, man?
There's really not much to talk about on the show. I mean, it really wasn't
my fucking
that great.
point. It's exactly my fucking point. There's nothing to talk about.
Like what? You want to talk about the Hype Bros and the Vaudevillains?
No, I don't want to force. That's my whole point. I don't want to force anything to talk about. There's just nothing here. There's nothing here tonight because it was just all very kind of blah. It was all kind of blah tonight. I don't know how low I'm going to go on this. I might go like 6.5. I mean, look, what we got, everything we saw was solid. I mean, there was no terrible matches that like made you go, oh God, Raw, nothing like that. It was just nothing. I think we're kind of spoiled by NXT, and tonight we got kind of brought down a couple notches.
Yeah, I think I know it's like a couple months away, but I think when TakeOver comes around, I think this will all be fine.
Oh yeah,
that show looks stacked.
The next set of tapings that I've read are fucking amazing. So I'm not really worried about that. The match setups that they're going to be doing, I know they're going to be incredible. So I'm not worried or anything. I'm just saying tonight didn't have the secret ingredient, whatever that is for NXT. It just didn't have it. So, what's your rating tonight?
I'm going to give it a 5.5. I just didn't think it was that great.
You said you liked it better. It's so weird. You came off fire and that you liked it. But once again, Dave changed the mind of another youth. But I appreciate the call, man.
See you tomorrow night for SmackDown.
I'll be here. Thanks a lot, buddy. Nobody can stick to their guns. Oh, my God. So, yeah, we got a whole bunch of people that are starting to join the Dead on Dave Fantasy Baseball League. Yeah, all right. If you want to be a part of it, we still have a few slots left. You can go ahead and hit me up on Twitter with your email address. Yes, your email. And I will go ahead and do that thizzle, man. I will take care of it. I'll have a good time and put you in there and get you in a league. And you can play fantasy baseball, but only play if you're going to play. Please. Matt Ernie, Dave, when is the Balor Club forming? Probably not. It's probably not. If they do something called the Balor Club, that'd be stupid. It works for the T-shirts, but it won't work for an actual faction. It seems like something destined to fail. It's too close to the Bullet Club. But it's hokey. It should never happen. It should never happen. If he wants to start a different faction that's like the Bullet Club, sure, that'll work. Got a fart. There you go. Oh, Joseph Martin just let me know that he's going to lose in fantasy baseball. He's like, Felix Hernandez, he's mine. If that's your biggest concern, yeah. God, I shouldn't let kids play. I shouldn't let kids play. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. God. Anyway, yeah, that was a really, really wet fart. It was a wet fart. I've been blasting these out all night. Sal says everything's better with Pokemon. Well, it would be, but I decided not to have you make me an NXT one for the Pokemon, and now I don't want to play it. So I'm tired. I think I'm going to get up out of here. I think we've said everything that needs to be said. Yes, Alien Quinn, but Dave Finn has been teasing something. Sure, he's been teasing something just to drum up intrigue. Having an actual Balor Club doesn't make sense to me. They can do another type of stable, but Balor Club doesn't make sense. And Bullet Club, they're not getting the license. Joseph Martin. Bro, he had 16 wins last season. You don't know what the fuck. If that's your big, here's what I want you to do, Joseph Martin. Pick him number one. Please pick Felix Hernandez number one. I'm begging you. I hope you get the number one pick in the draft. Pick him number 1. Oh my God. Please. Now, that's the only fucking favor I'm going to do for you this entire damn thing. Don't talk shit to me because I can already tell you don't know what the fuck you're talking about in baseball. So, anyways. I'm not saying Felix Hernandez isn't good, but you're saying he's mine. Like, you're going to get him number 1 overall. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys had a good night. I've been irritable all night tonight. Just been irritable as fuck all night tonight. But I don't want to invade Too Tall. I'm going to leave Too Tall alone tonight, man. I don't want to bug him. I'm tired. I'm irritable. I'm gassy. I think that's my biggest problem is I'm just gassy as hell. So, I'm gassy. But yeah, so I think we're going to be done. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hope you guys had a good time tonight. Sorry for the short show. Also, I'm sorry for anybody who's watching this later on and saw something missing, you know. That was because we had some internet issues tonight. So I'm exhausted. That's the reality of it, is I'm beat the fuck up. So you guys have a really good night. We'll see you tomorrow night on SmackDown for your review there. And you never know when Pokemon might pop up again. So keep your eyes up for that. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Go get some sleep, folks, because I want some sleep. All right, we'll see you next time. Peace.